Welcome to Money First CEO, the podcast for business owners ready to run their business like a boss and make their money work smarter, not harder. I'm Harman Johnston, bookkeeper, Profit First professional, business coach, and mum of two from Sydney, Australia. I've built a thriving business by mastering money habits and systems that create real freedom. This show will help you take control of your finances so you can build a business and life that truly works for you. Every episode delivers one powerful takeaway you can action right away for more clarity, confidence, and cash. And from time to time, I'll be joined by special guests, fellow entrepreneurs, experts, and real business owners, sharing their money wins, lessons, and insights to inspire your next move. Because when you put money first, you unlock the options and freedom you deserve. So hit follow, grab your coffee, and let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to the Money First CEO podcast, where we believe if you put your money first, the rest will follow. So today's episode is a must listen if you're a business owner heading into end of financial year season. Whether your end of financial year is 30th of June, December 31st, or another date based on where you are, the principles are the same. This is the time to close strong, review, clean up, and set yourself up to win next year. And today's takeaway is simple. A quick 30-minute call with your accountant can save you thousands and hours of stress. So let's break it down. Why does end of financial year prep matters? Even if you think you're good. Most business owners wait until last minute to think of end of financial year, or worse, wait until after to realize what they should have done. So here's why this prep matters. Taxes. This is your chance to maximize deductions, minimize surprises, and avoid overpaying. Financial clarity. You want to know, was this year profitable? What changed? What's trending? What didn't work? Legal protection. Compliance. Red flags. Getting ahead now protects you from audits and errors and penalties. And it's a great time for goal setting. You can't plan next year without understanding this year. So a client of mine waited until tax time and realized they had missed over $4,000 in deductions, all legit but forgotten. A 30-minute call with the accountant in May or June would have caught it. So end of financial year isn't just paperwork, it's your financial reset button. And that's exactly how I see it. So what do we want to review and clean up before end of financial year? So here's your pre-end of financial year checklist. I'll keep it simple but strategic. Some of you might find it boring, but it's really important, trust me. So review all your transactions. Make sure income and expenses are categorized. Look for anything that slipped through the cracks. Clean up any personal charges accidentally paid through business. Reconcile your accounts, match bank statements to your books, and make sure everything lines up so your accountant doesn't have to play detective. It's all laid out nicely for them. Organize receipts. Use things like Dext and HubDoc or Google. If you've got paper receipts, scan them now. Check your profit and loss. Compare this year to last. What categories grew? Which ones need a review? Did profit grow with revenue or not? It's a good time to see, you might be thinking, oh, I had a great year, but you might be just looking at revenue. But did you actually make as much as well? Did you pay yourself any more with such a good year? So it's a good time to review and reflect. Pay any outstanding bills and chase any invoices that customers owe you. Do a cleanup before 30th of June. If there's any invoices sitting there that you don't think you're going to get paid, maybe consider writing them off. And if there's any suppliers that you can pay up front to take advantage of discount or to claim as a deduction this year and you've got the money, do it. Also review your owner's pay and contributions. Did you pay yourself consistently? Maybe the business owed you some money. If the money's there, pay yourself. Review your super. Can you top it up before end of financial year for a tax reduction? So the 30-minute call that changes everything. This is where most business owners fall short. They assume their accountant will figure it all out. You give them the books and it's their job to sort it out and make sure you pay the least amount of tax. But here's the truth. Your accountant is only as good as the information you give them and the questions you ask. So What sort of questions can you ask your accountant? You can, first I sent an email out to all our clients yesterday with a checklist of pre-30th of June for them to action and do. And then we'll probably do another one closer to the end of the month with a post-30th of June one. So some of the questions you want to ask your accountant is there anything I can deduct or prepay before the end of the year? Am I structured the right way? Because it might be a good time to change your business structure, sole trader to a company. So you start the new year on a fresh slate. Should I contribute additional money to super or reinvest in the business? What does my estimated tax bill looks like? So you can make sure you've got enough money put aside. And what's one thing you'd recommend I change next year for better cash flow or savings, to help you plan for next year? So your accountant is not just for tax season. They're a strategic partner if you use them early. And the common end of financial year mistakes to avoid. And I see them all the time. So let's through some of the biggest pitfalls I see every year. Ignoring end of financial year until July. It's just the date. And it's too late by then to clean things up or maximize tax opportunities. And also not knowing your numbers. I did the episode two episodes ago as to why it's so important to know your numbers. If you're handing your accountant a spreadsheet you haven't looked in months, that's not leadership. Letting I'm bad at numbers excuse. Nope, you don't need to be an accountant. You just need to be an engaged CEO and take interest in your business and treat it like a business. Filing late and rushing through the process. Late filings. ATO is really strict at the moment with penalties and, missed savings and more stress. Is it really worth it? Assuming last year's strategy still works this year. Business changes and so should your financial approach. So, end of financial year is a good time to review your business, not just to close your books, close the loop and start fresh. So, the challenge. Here's your CEO challenge this week. Book a 30-minute call with your accountant before end of financial year. On that call, ask them, what can I deduct or prepare? What should I change next year? Is the company structure still relevant? And how do I reduce my tax bill legally and efficiently? And bonus points, if you really want to get into it, review your profit and loss, reconcile your accounts, and file away receipts. 1 hour of prep now can save you thousands later. That's what being a Money First CEO is all about. So that's a wrap on today's episode of the Money First CEO. If this helped you feel more confident heading into end of financial year, send it to a business friend who always scrambles in June. And tag me on Instagram. Let me know when you book your accountant call. We're not waiting for tax season this year. We're leading it. So until next time, clarity today equals confidence tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me on Money First CEO. If you got value from this episode, hit subscribe, drop a 5-star review, and share it with someone who's building their business too. All the goodies are in the show notes, and you can find me on socials, more tips and tools to help you. Until next time, keep putting money first, and the rest will follow.